Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Up next in our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2Lift, we're featuring our dear friend, celebrity matchmaker, and PR to the stars, Carmelia Ray. Today, she joins me to talk about menopause, vaginal rejuvenation, and help me demystify the stigmas surrounding female sexual health. We're going to be chatting about the health benefits of sexual pleasure and how to maximize celebration of self. Now, you're probably not used to thinking of your skin as an organ, but it's actually the largest organ of the body. It has a myriad of functions, and it is a big contributor to your overall health, including the main barrier between you and a significant other. Now, sex and sexuality are part of life. And aside from reproduction, sex can be about intimacy and pleasure. Sexual activity, penile vaginal intercourse, or masturbation offer many surprising benefits. Sexual health is more than avoiding diseases and unplanned pregnancies. It's also about recognizing that sex can be an important part of your life. And people with active sex lives tend to exercise more frequently and actually have better dietary habits than those who are less sexually active. Here to break it all down for us is the amazing Carmelia Ray. What a fitting topic for you. Welcome to the show, Stunner.
Yeah, I love this topic. And I think that there's not enough conversation around it. So I'm so pleased that you are having this conversation with me right now.
Okay, let's jump right in. So CO2Lift.com has a gel that from their studies show 117% increase in hydration after only one application. Now, we're not just talking about vaginal hydration, we're talking about overall skin benefit, and as well as a 26% increase in elasticity after only 6 treatments. Now, this type of hydration is clearly optimal. Carmelia, you are very familiar with the products. How have you witnessed CO2Lift affect the health of your skin, including your skin down there?
What can I say? I mean, everything that is in the packaging and all the promises that it says about, having plumpness and hydration and free from wrinkles. I barely have to wear makeup. I'm in makeup a lot, and so I really wanted a product where it would nourish and my real skin and the skin down there. I mean, I've taken pictures. I'm looking around, and let's just say that I'm very pleased with the results.
I've taken pictures and I'm pleased with the results. Let's coin that one.
I
Now,
got I got vaginal selfies, okay? I got vag selfies.
oh boy, oh boy. Now, all of this from carboxytherapy. Now, carboxytherapy gel, let's talk about that. So, we know that it increases the presence of wound repair factors and growth factors, which then help cells turn over faster. And this reduces the appearance of aging and scars and stretch marks and so much more. So there's a science behind it. Then we
Yes.
also know that carboxytherapy stimulates collagen and elastin production, which then promotes elasticity and helps retain hydration because it's all about hydrating that area we're talking about, as well as, of course, and the doctors love this. All the surgeons talk about this. It improves local metabolism and elimination of waste products, which then helps the body heal localized damage, such as scars or acne hyperpigmentation. So, Carmelia, as an advocate of female empowerment, how do you feel about vaginal rejuvenation and non invasive procedures?
Well, number one, having any kind of invasive procedure for anybody is a scary idea. Non-invasive is music to my ears because we're not going under knife, scalpel, general anesthesia, not going to the hospital. This all can be done at home. In fact, I did it this morning. I tagged you in an Instagram post, right? So mine comes in a little box and everything that I need is in this box. So it's something that when you're dating and even in partnership, that area, a lot of women, I've talked to so many women, they don't even look at it. They don't even want to look at it, right? And there's a lot of embarrassment and shame around what the vagina looks like, comparing it to others and thinking that, it's not so nice looking. So I think that this is such an important tool or treatment for women to build their confidence.
I think all vaginas are beautiful. The act of sex, right, can help strengthen your pelvic floor. So let's go back to the science. And a strengthened pelvic floor can also offer benefits like less pain during sex and reduce chances of vaginal prolapse, which we know are major when you're hitting a certain age, especially menopausal women. Now, women who continue to be sexually active after menopause are actually less likely to have significant vaginal atrophy, or the thinning of vaginal walls, what they call. And vaginal atrophy causes a lot of pain during sex. And of course, there's also urinary symptoms that go along with it. So, this, to my understanding, CO2Lift V mitigates all of these symptoms and risks, which brings me to my next question. So, CO2Lift V, we know, Carmelia, improves sensitivity and urinary incontinence and mild laxity of the vaginal and the labia, as well as there's this medical term called lichen sclerosis, which I learned about. It's a rare skin disease that causes itchy and painful patches of thin, white, wrinkled looking skin. And in
Wow.
women, these may occur on the vulva or the skin around the anus. And in men, it typically affects the head of the penis. So we know CO2 Lift V, the vaginal treatment, is very well recommended by practitioners to aid in these symptoms and pain of what these conditions cause. Can you describe what the CO2 vaginal treatment process was like for you and its effectiveness?
Well, number one, again, to the non invasive part, it's very easy to apply. This is something that you can do in the privacy of your room, your bathroom, your home. So nobody has to look at your vagina. I mean, a lot of times when women even just go to the doctor to get a pap smear, it can be embarrassing and everything. So when I actually insert the cream in the vagina, it's very cool, it's soothing, but there is a warmth. I immediately can feel like there's blood that rushes. It's because of the carbon dioxide and all of the stimulation that goes on in there. So it increases that blood flow. Coupled with non-invasive treatments like the M-Cella chair with CO2V, I think that combination itself is makes it even better. So there's even faster results. But as far as it's painless, it's pleasurable. It's comforting and it's not embarrassing because I'm doing it at home in the comfort of my home, and it's the 45 minutes that I get to relax and do things for myself. So I absolutely love it. The results speak for itself. I won't be sharing my photos, but I can tell you that I'm very pleased with the results, and I will continue to keep maintenance on my vagina.
I love it. Take it to the body shop,
Yep.
baby. Now, I actually have also used CO2 Lift feed. To your point, it lifts, it hydrates, it rejuvenates, it
Yeah.
does plump down there. It helps tighten and lift it all. Basically, it's the science, carbon
Yeah.
dioxide. It's very simple. And to your point, you said it. You hit it right on. It enhances circulation by rushing oxygen rich blood to tissue, and it regenerates cells to improve sensitivity and lubrication. It's quite phenomenal. Now, Carmelia, why do you think there is shame and embarrassment in the word sex and vagina?
To your point, you mentioned you think all vaginas are beautiful. If you ask the average woman, including my clients and close friends, particularly women who are aging, I'm turning 52 this year. I am premenopausal. I haven't had the hot flashes, but I can tell you the skin on your face is the same as the skin down there. And when you start to see white hair and not that firmness that you're used to, you become conscious of that. Why it's so taboo is that the generation of women that I came from, and the fact that I'm Filipino Canadian, there's also traditions and cultures that are not comfortable talking about sex. God forbid you talk about that in certain cultures. So this is something that is just a cultural no, a taboo. It's uncomfortable conversation, and no woman is going to want to admit that they feel like their vagina is ugly, or they've got loose labia, or whatever the case is. Nobody wants to talk about that. So there's just an increased sensitivity in our vanity down there, and we don't want to admit it. A lot of women don't want to admit that.
You are so right. In fact, it's backed by a study in 2022. There was a study by gynecologists at the University of Manchester in England, and less than 10% of women could accurately label female genitalia. The clitoris is even more taboo than the vagina, and arguably the most neglected human organ by medicine. It's still inadequately depicted in most medical textbooks and barely touched upon in medical training. And this is a very serious problem. I mean, women have been injured by this lack of knowledge through botched reconstruction surgeries, anti-incontinence procedures, obstetric tears and repairs, and vulvectomies, and there's so much more. So it's time that we demystify the stigmas surrounding sexual health and really get practitioners talking and get the narrative where it's healthy and where it's productive for women, and really kind of get most of the men away from the front lines and replace with women who can actually be sensitive to our own anatomy. So this brings me into my next question. How important is intimacy in a relationship in the year 2024?
I think intimacy is important, more important than ever, particularly intimacy now in such a digital world where more and more people are less connected. We talk about having more connection, but our phones, texting, voice notes, we become less connected in person because of that. And just previous, what I wanted to say is I'm a mother who's had 4 kids. Let's talk about the embarrassment of post delivery. I made the mistake of looking at my vagina the first time I gave birth to my daughter, Michaela, who's now 25, and I tore. I had 45 stitches. It looked like a boxing match went down there. Okay. And I thought, oh my God, my husband's never, ever going to go near that area. In fact, I'm never going to go near that area. But if I had had access to CO2V at that time, knowing that it can heal and repair and rejuvenate, I think I would have felt so much better about that. So, intimacy today is more important. And when it comes down to confidence, confidence is the one thing that gets in the way of intimacy, and actually lack of confidence. I will say the doubts, the comparison. No two vaginas are alike, like a snowflake. So it is beautiful no matter what. And if we don't like our vagina, how do we expect our partner is going to like the vagina?
Well said. Well said. And in fact, to your point that we are so plugged in or unplugged, if you will, with this digital world that we live in, intimacy in the times that we are intimate, whether that's 10, 15, 20 minutes out of the day or whatever, twice a week or twice a month, whatever it is for everybody, it's different, right? Then that time should really be spent harvesting that intimacy so you can make it last, and ripple into your relationship. And in fact, your body releases oxytocin. It's also called the love or intimacy hormone, and endorphins are released during orgasm, which then leads to better sleep. And the combination of these hormones also acts as sedation. So you have headache relief. You have so many pros to engaging in sexual intimacy more often. Now, the new female trend, Carmelia, includes skin down there, as we've been talking about. How do you, as a celebrity matchmaker and love guru, prepare your clients? Do you recommend that they prioritize vaginal beautification?
Oh, absolutely. I think that sex is on the forefront of every date. In fact, they do say, like, to calm your nerves down, you should probably have an orgasm before you go on a date so you're not all wild up, right? Um, Again, you're if you're looking in a new relationship, and for many of my clients who may be in a second time relationship, they've only been intimate with one partner for many, many years. So the idea of bringing a new partner and having to get adjusted and having to introduce them to your body parts, particularly post pregnancy or even just aging, right? And for people even who are not aging, there are young people that just, again, culturally, they don't talk about it, they don't explore it. So I think for me, having this tool, having this opportunity to recommend something that will be part of their self care routine is completely invaluable. So I think there's not enough discussion about it. And I absolutely address those needs with my clients.
Wow, you have everything covered. All your bases covered. Emotional, physical, mental. What don't you do?
Sexual.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, this is full service, no pun intended. Carmelia, thank you so much for coming on. You're always so transparent and so easy to talk to. It's always a pleasure having you.
Always love being here. Thanks so much, guys.
That was our Going Deep segment brought to you by CO2Lift.com. And that was the amazing Carmelia Ray. She's a celebrity matchmaker, a life coach. She's PR to the stars. She's an entrepreneur. She's a mama. She's one of my dearest friends. You definitely should head to her website at carmeliaray.com or check her out on the gram at Carmelia Ray. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York iHeartRadio. For all these incredible products, do head to CO2Lift.com or check them out on the gram for the incredible testimonials, especially when it comes to the vaginal rejuvenation product at CO2Lift. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by CO2Lift. As we age, our skin loses moisture and elasticity, causing wrinkled skin. You can reverse this aging process with CO2Lift. CO2Lift utilizes the powerful benefits of carbon dioxide to lift, tighten, and regenerate your skin. This simple, painless at-home carboxytherapy treatment is scientifically proven to reverse the aging process. You will see reduction in wrinkles, increase luminosity, and improve pigmentation, sagging, skin tone, and radiance. For more information or to order CO2Lift, go to CO2Lift.com.